Welcome back. You're listening to Get Real here on the Money Matters Radio Network. I'm joined in the studio today by a very special guest from Lair Realty right here in Westboro. We have Lilian Regia Davis. Lilian, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Great. So we asked you to come on the show today and talk a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market. And I understand you cover pretty much all of Massachusetts, right?
Yes, all over the place.
Okay.
I sold houses in the Cape Cod, to Worcester, to Everett, to Regia, to Lilian.
And all the way out to the western part, right?
Exactly. Lawrence, all over the place.
So your territory is the entire state, basically.
The entire state. People ask you, what's your specialty? And I say, state of Massachusetts.
That's a nice big specialty.
Yes.
So,
whatever my clients are, I'm there
excellent.
to help them out.
Excellent. So one of the reasons we wanted to talk to you, because you cover so much of the state, we wanted to see what you're seeing out there, because you represent more the first-time buyer end of the spectrum, correct?
Yes.
And in your travels, I mean, you're doing stuff all the way out around Boston, all the way out to near Springfield. What are you seeing happening in the easternmost part of the state? So say the areas around Boston, you're selling a lot in what, Lynn, Everett, Malden, that area?
Regia, yes.
Okay.
The market has been outrageous. Sometimes we put offers $30,000-$40,000 over asking price, and we do not get accepted.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And what price range? When you're saying $30,000 or $40,000 over asking, is that like the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 price range, or higher or lower? Or?
No, around on the 500s, especially multifamilies, around on the 500s.
Wow. So multifamilies in those areas are going for over $500,000 now.
Yes, they are.
Wow. And is that 2s and 3s, or a majority of them bigger than the 3s and 4s?
No, for $300,000, if it's basically something falling apart.
Wow. Really? For $300,000?
Yes, nothing good at all. $500,000, they are okay.
Oh, jeez. Now, if you were out there, especially like in Lynn and Malden, even a few years ago, it wasn't that bad, was it? I mean, it was a lot cheaper back then, wasn't it?
You can find very decent properties. Of course, some Lynn is divided by streets. Some streets in there are still very tough, but some areas of Lynn are very decent, and you can find beautiful homes. Lynn is still okay, more towards Everett and Regia, Malden, but Lynn is still okay. Right. Depends where you are in Lynn, you still can find a decent home.
Right. And they're talking about redeveloping that whole waterfront area, right, that GE used to be on?
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be going all sorts of new residential housing going there, I believe.
Exactly. I hope that you make the neighborhood a better place.
Right.
Because some areas are still pretty tough, still a lot of crime.
Right.
And some people want to be out of there. But I work with a lot of Brazilian and Spanish community because I'm originally from Brazil. So still people can buy, they want to buy in there because it's still affordable. It's still okay.
Right. And you know what, we should mention that before we go too much further, that, you actually do speak fluent Spanish and Portuguese. Right.
Yes.
So you help a lot of buyers that speak those languages all over the state.
Exactly. That's why I'm all over the place, because you have basically a Brazilian and a Spanish community all over the state of Massachusetts.
Right.
And people has friends and family, one recommend to another, and for co-workers, and they keep recommending. And when you do a good sale, when you do a good job for one client, everybody wants another one like that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
People explore different areas and that kind of stuff too.
Which is good, because you end up learning a lot about all different parts of the state.
Exactly, yeah.
What about inventory? I know you don't really cover one specific area, but are you finding that inventory is tough across the state, or is it tougher as you go east, or is it tough all over in that price bracket you're in?
It has been very hard. Sometimes you open up in a town, there is 20 houses for sale. And some of those is $500,000, $600,000. And my buyers are first-time home buyers. They're not looking for $600,000 house. They're looking for, most of my buyers, most of my closings, it is up to $300,000 or less.
Right.
So that's the average that what I sell.
Right. And I imagine that the inventory is even tighter in that end of the...
Exactly. Sometimes the person say, I'm approved for $300,000. They're very happy.
Yeah.
And when we look what's for sale in there, oh my God, it's so disappointed. There's almost nothing.
Really?
Yes.
And that's certainly in the eastern part of the state. Does it get a little easier as you start moving west?
Well, like when you're going towards Ulster, it's you'll find a little bit more. But we've been dealing with a very big issue in the Worcester County.
Right.
The FHA rules and regulations only allowed for a single-family home $285,000.
Right. We've been bumping up against that for a while.
If you have a buyer for $300,000, they cannot even buy that much. They only can buy a $285,000.
Right, or $295,000 with the down payment.
Exactly. Yeah. So we stuck with that because, of course, Worcester, you can still find a okay house for that amount. But if you jump to Shrewsbury or Westboro or Grafton or Northborough, oh my God.
You can't get anything for
nothing unless it's a dump.
Yeah. And even then, you're probably not getting it for $300,000, right?
Yeah, I sold. I just saw my buyer in the birthday party last weekend. She bought a 4 bedrooms, 2.5 beds for $240,000 in Shrewsbury on Consigman Ave.
Wow.
That was 3 years ago for $240,000. Her house today at least $400,000. The way she has her house right now. If she put the house for sale for $400,000, I'm sure in 1 week she'll get an offer because it looks gorgeous. They done a few work. They put granite countertops. They refinished the hardwood floors. They redone some of the bathrooms. It looks gorgeous.
Right.
Her house today, it's easy $400,000. The way, even if the house was the way she bought it 3 years ago, it will be at least $350,000 in the condition that she bought it.
Wow. So it really comes down to people being, I think before we started talking today, you were saying that a lot of people are getting almost desperate to buy a house because they don't want to get priced out of the market.
Exactly. And people are scared. They don't know what's going to happen next year. They don't know if who's going to be elected, if the interest rate's going to go higher.
Right.
And everybody wants to lock in a 30 years, like the interest rates that's going, 3.5 to 4%.
Yep.
Everybody wants to have that. And they a little panic to find something immediately to be in a home before the next election.
Right.
And I have too many people looking for, and there's not too many houses that for sale.
No, and we're hearing that a lot. I mean, in all different areas. I guess you could say the western part of the state's not quite as bad, once you get out towards Springfield and towns out that way, but I mean, right up until even Central Mass, it's still brutal. I mean, you're putting the house on the market and it's selling in a few days, where it used to take a few months.
Exactly.
I mean, I remember when selling your house in 2 months was considered really good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, if it's on the market after the first week, there's something wrong with it.
Exactly. Why it's not sold yet.
Right.
And what's the most horrifying when you call the other agent and say, "Wow, I have an offer for you. Oh, beautiful. I have another 20. With yours, going to be 21." I want to cry.
It's got to be, and it's got to be tough for the buyers too. I mean, I don't know if you see this as much as we do, but especially with first-time buyers, they're not always in a position to go over asking price by 20 or 30 grand. They have to be able to finance the 95% of it, and they don't have the extra.
Exactly.
So they put out an offer and they find out that they're one of 15 offers in the first week on the property. It's got to be discouraging. I mean, I would say now where 5 years ago you found the house you wanted, you almost always got it. It wasn't there wasn't really any competition.
Exactly. We even can make a little bargain. The asking price was $200,000. You offer $190,000. You ask for $4,000 back for closing costs and fees, and you gotta prove it. Yes, we got it.
Yeah.
And now you gotta go for $210,000, and no money back for closing costs.
Right. Yeah.
It's being a little difficult.
Yeah. It's you're making probably 3, 4, 5 offers before you actually have a chance at getting one. I mean, how often do people get the first house they make an offer on now? It's not that often anymore.
Not that often at all. And some people get frustrated. My best friend is looking for a house right now. It's very difficult, besides to be my best friend and to be her agent. And we put already 5 offers. None of those accepted, especially when the property is like bank owned, but they are not. For the first-time home buyers, they are not in the home patch system. Like anybody can come and put an offer, and there's a lot of flippers around.
Yeah,
a lot of people that comes and pay cash. So how can an FHA offer with a 3.5% down compete with a cash deal with no contingency?
You can't.
You can't. Yeah. So it's a little frustrating. I think the government should put a rule that when the house is put on the market, that it was not a private sale, it's a bank on. It should be give a first-time home buyers a chance.
I agree.
And
Or at
it's
least-
like for 10 days. Like
Right.
if nobody come up with a decent offer in the next 10 or 15 days, and then open up for everybody else's. But
Yeah.
I think you should have a rule like that.
Yeah.
Because unless the property has like a private owner, and then they want the top price for the property. But
Right.
these bank properties, some of those come on the market. Sometimes they have just a little thing to fix it, and you have to have a 203K. And
Right.
you know, the 203K loans, they take about between 60 to 90 days to close.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who's selling the property, of course, they don't want to even look at your buyers if they are 203K FHA finance. They want a
Right.
cash deal. They want to sell fast and all of that.
Yeah.
So the first time home buyers got no chance. And it hurts
Yes.
because there is nice people out there who are just looking for a home, just a nice place to live.
Right. Right. Now, one of the things that you also specialize in is foreclosures, correct?
Yes, foreclosures.
Have you seen those drop off the last couple of years?
Yes, it's much less. I think the bank are holding properties.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Probably because they can unload them now for getting close to or more than what they were owed on them, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Also, before the bank was selling as it is. Now, a lot of the banks, they are changing carpets,
Yeah.
doing some painting, getting them FHA approved.
Yeah. Some of them
and
even putting
they are
in like
selling over
kitchens and baths too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess at the end of the day, it's because the market's gotten so much better. Why let the flipper make all the money when they
Exactly.
can just update it and sell it for a big profit?
Yes, and the flippers, they used to be a very big number. They coming with these shows that, you can flip your property, make that much. But when you put an offer in a
Yeah.
property, there is too many out
Yeah.
there.
Do you watch the one Flip or Flop? I think it's on HGTV.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can
a
kinda
little
s-
addicted to those shows
Yo,
when
me
I'm
too.
not out there
Yeah.
selling properties.
I
I'm
think
watching
we're all
them.
addicted to them. I think that's why they're doing so well. But you watch, like, the beginning of that one kills me because it says, ever since the real estate market fell apart. I mean, maybe update the beginning of your show. The real estate market's been booming for years.
Exactly, yeah.
And you
It's
watch-
not falling apart anymore at
Yeah,
all.
and especially in California, too. I mean, you look at the houses they're flipping. It used to be, like, little houses that were gut jobs, and now they're buying stuff that isn't in that bad a shape, but it's all that's left. So you got to turn it into something big if you want to move it. It's just kind of crazy the way things have changed.
I also work with flippers, but you have to really be careful. When
Yeah.
you flip a property, you have to really make sure that all the work that you do in a house,
Mm-hmm.
because when the appraisal come, the
Yeah.
appraisal have to appraise the house
Right.
accordingly. Like if you think you're just gonna paint and change the carpets, you think you're gonna make $100,000. That's not a reality.
No.
And there's a lot of greedy people out there. And then you see some houses stacking there because they are overpriced.
Yes.
The people that have a very bad job on the property, they want to make too much money and it's not selling.
And it was sloppy, too. It's like people that have no experience went into
No
the work and it
experience.
shows.
Yes, no experience. They did a really bad job, a very
Sure.
bad painting job.
Yes,
and
yeah.
the property looks horrible, and
Yeah.
they think they're gonna make $100,000 off
Yeah,
of
if it
that.
doesn't look good, you're not going to make a profit on it.
No.
Yeah, and if you overprice, you're not going to make a profit on it.
Yeah, when you see something stuck on the market,
Mm.
they are overpriced.
Yeah.
Everything that doesn't sell in a month or so, something's wrong with it.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Or it's falling apart, or they asking for too much money.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Or
would
it's
agree.
in a really bad neighborhood.
Yeah, location is still tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is everything I learn. People say location, location, location.
Yeah.
Well, if the prices are right, it sells.
That's
Doesn't
right.
matter if it is Q20 in that street. Guess what? If the house is really cheap, and end up selling.
That's right. That's right. It all comes
So,
down to the price, right?
Yeah, all comes down to the price. If a price is right, it'll go.
Absolutely. So I want to give out your contact info again. Anybody that's looking to buy or sell pretty much anywhere in Massachusetts, you should give Lilian Regia Davis a call at 508-361-3141. Again, that number is 508-361-3141. That's going to do it for this segment. We've got to take a quick break for some commercials, but we'll be back with more Get Real after these messages.